That's really good, Monica.
Oh, thank
I
you.
like hearing your story. I was going to ask, are there like common issues that you find couples struggle with?
Definitely. I think that I think that in general, I think women are looking for more support, whether it's support in their roles, whether it's support in following their dreams, whether it's, I think they're looking for more support. And I think husbands are looking, a lot of times, they're looking for more intimacy, sexual and emotional, to be honest. So I think those are the main complaints that I hear.
How do you help, or what tips do you have to help bridge the gap there?
Honestly, I feel like I didn't say this on the episode, but I think that even if you do these skills badly, you're still miles and miles and miles ahead of the rest of the population. So the worst way to get more of what you want is to just complain and, be upset about not getting it. The best way to get it is to actually follow these 4 steps, is to really remember love. Remember you're on the same team. Give your partner the benefit of the doubt, right? They want you to be happy. They want to be happy. They want to create with you a more beautiful, happy scenario. And I think a lot of times we get really lost in this idea because we're not getting what we want. We think that our partner is just a schmuck, and we start to like universalize their behaviors. Instead of just, they didn't help with the dishes last night, we start to think they're lazy, they don't care about me, they're not a good person, I must have made a mistake here. And I think it's really about bringing ourselves back to this idea that I love this person, they love me, I chose them, they chose me, right? And it's our responsibility to create something better here. And if I want something, I've got to be willing to ask for it. I've got to be willing to go toe to toe. And I think what happens is, we're not getting what we want, and then it comes out very sideways. We start to do these controlling, losing strategies to try and get what we want instead of just asking for it.
Just doing it the simple way.
Right?
Yeah. Something I've learned is, I like how you said when we're complaining, there's really a request underneath that. And I have learned that about myself, and learned to identify what is it that I'm, rather than the word request, I think the word that works for me is expectation. What am I expecting? And then sometimes I have to talk through that with my wife and be like, is that a realistic expectation, or is that just a childish expectation that I should set aside?
Well, I like that method that you're going through, because to turn it from a complaint to an expectation, but we can't really we think that we can expect things from other people, but I think that actually gets us in a lot of trouble too. So, but that's a great path, because now you have the expectation. What was I expecting?
Yeah.
Like, why am I disappointed? What was I expecting to happen? Then from there, you can make a solid request. Because the reality is we're all adults. Like, we can't make anyone do anything as much as we want to. So
that pesky free will getting in the way.
Exactly. So yeah, take that complaint, turn it into, like, that's a great way to, like, what was I expecting? Like, what did I think was going to happen? Right. And then really going through that process. Was that a realistic expectation? Yeah. Was that, whatever? And then find the request. Like, you can make a request out of any expectation, but recognize that it is a request. Because most people try to make a demand. Like, this is how it should be. This is what I deserve. This is how you need to show up.
I'm never like that. I am just wonderful, delightful person.
So that's the problem you get with expectations, because with an expectation, you get some demands, right? Mm-hmm. But the reality is all we can do is request from each other.
Yeah, I think, and I like the way you're putting that, because it's a little more humbling, to say, well, I would like this. Doesn't mean I'm going to get it, but at least I'm going to voice it.
Well, that's a whole nother part of the process, right? It's like, here's what I want. I would like to work together to get as close to this as possible. But the reality is it's just a request. Like, the other person doesn't have to honor it at all. And then you have to make some decisions around that.
Yeah. And it takes, I like how you were mentioning earlier, basically the essence of empathy, and realizing, like, just because they didn't do the dishes last night doesn't mean that they were viciously not doing the dishes. They may have had something else, or they were tired, or, There was spaghetti on the wall they were getting off, things like that. Sorry, I just dropped my pen. I like how you said teach others how to treat others, or each other. Do you have any tips on how to approach that, or like a little exercise people can do?
Yeah. Well, I think that is the exercise is you want to teach your partner how to come through for you, and you want to make it as easy as humanly possible for them to do so. That's what that question is. How can I make it easier for you to actually do this? So you can take any scenario. Like another scenario I use very often is like a lot of, let's just do very stereotypical. A man is like, hey, so here's how I would suggest that a man go through the process if they want more sexual intimacy from their spouse, right? So first they're going to go through the process of remembering love. Like, okay, I love my partner and I know they love me. I want to be more intimate with my partner, and hopefully they want to be more intimate with me. And the reason why I'm going to show up and ask for this is because I want to create a better relationship for both of us. One where I'm not resentful of what I'm not getting and they're not dodging me all the time or trying to manage my sexuality, right? So you remember love. Your request is, I want more intimacy, right? So now you're going to get their attention. Hey, love, I really am feeling strongly about our physical and our sexual relationship. I would love to have a chat with you. Is now a good time, or should, maybe when the kids get to bed, or maybe we can go for a drive or a walk later? Like, I really need your undivided attention. This is important to me. So now you've got their attention, right? Now you want to make a request. Hey, I'm feeling very lonely. I would really love the opportunity to increase our connection physically and sexually. So I would love it. So you're staying very much in the I. This is my experience, right? This is not anything you're doing wrong, or, I've been reading and it says that you should be doing this or whatever. This is my experience, right? I'm really feeling lonely and disconnected from you, and I really want to feel closer to you. So I would really love it if 2 nights a week we could have dinner together as a family, put the kids to bed early, and really spend some quality time together. That means naked quality time together. That's what I would really love, right? So that's specific and behavioral, right? You're showing them exactly what it would look like to give you exactly what you're requesting, right? And now the fourth and final stage that is the most important, right? Now, let's say Tuesday night, you get the kids to bed early. You got to spend some time together, but nothing sexual happened, right? So now you're going to go back to your partner. You're going to say, hey, Tuesday night was awesome. I love how we worked together and we put the kids to bed early and we got to spend that extra time together. That really meant so much to me. Is there anything I can do to make it easier for you to be able to just relax and get naked so that we can really connect deeper? That's what I really, really want, right? That's 4th step. Now you're inviting, maybe your spouse will say something like, you know what? That was awesome. What if you put the kids to bed by yourself and gave me like 20, 30 minutes to take a hot bath, kind of relax, get comfortable. Then I'll be ready for some sexy time, right? You're inviting that collaboration. You're inviting your spouse to help you create more of what you want. Like, so you're working together. You're showing them like, this is really important to me. This is what I want, but I'm not expecting you to just lay down and do it. Like, I want to help. I want to be a part of it. I want to create something really great for both of us. And that's how that 4-step process works. And that's probably one of my most common ones is I want more sexy time.
Yeah. Wow.
Man, good.
One more question I wanted to ask was, do you have couples ever complain or mention feeling a lack of validation?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a big one. So again, you can put it right through that request process, but that's really a matter of asking for like, hey, when you get home or when I get home and, I've had a really rough day and I just, I'm telling you about the teacher that I was arguing with and the parent who didn't understand. And like, I really just want you to listen to me. Like, I really just want you to hear my experience and ask questions about it. I don't want you to solve or fix anything. Like, and that's something, I mean, I just teach the validation part. It's really, here's the biggest, I think, realization for people, especially husbands. We're doing some stereotypes here, but I see a lot of this, and you can, spin it for either sex, but really husbands like to fix things. Husbands like to fix things, right? And so it's not out of malice or anything else, but what husbands don't recognize is a lot of times when I, as a wife, am talking about like my day, like, the kids were a mess today, and my daughters are fighting over their clothes, and blah, blah, blah. Like, my husband, because he loves me, he wants to come in and be like, well, you should do this, and you should do this, and you should do this, right? But what that action says to the person that you're talking to is really, I don't really trust you to figure out a solution to this. So here, I'm just going to tell you what I would do, right? I would feel more comfortable if you would do these things, and then you would stop complaining about this, right? That's like kind of the impetus behind trying to fix it. And so if husbands or anyone really will just realize like, hey, what is really needed when I'm venting at the end of the day, so this is me teaching you how to treat me, right? Like when I'm telling you about this, the kids were fighting and this and that and all this, I need you to trust that I can figure it out. Like, I just got to vent. I just want somebody else to feel my experience and know what I'm going through and be a witness for me. But I've got this, right? And so your response, it would really help me if your response was, hey, that sounds really hard, but I know you've got this, right? I know you're going to know exactly what to do. Or you could say something like, that sounds really, really hard. I know you've got this all figured out, but would you like to brainstorm some ideas? Like, I have some ideas of maybe something that, would you like to hear them? And then I can say yes, or nope, I don't. I totally got this, right? So when in question, just ask, what would be the best way for me to support you right now? You want me to just listen, or do you want me to help you solve?
Yeah. As you talk or mention that, have you ever seen, there's a skit I've seen the internet a couple times on Facebook.
Is it the nail?
The man and woman, the nail. Yes. The nail.
I show that in all my trainings. It's so important. It's so funny.
I love that video. It's hilarious. But I think the way you said it too is a pretty good demonstration of that is responding in a way of saying, okay, how can I help you? Or what do you, what do you want from me right now? So I want, you to feel loved and appreciated rather than trying to fix your nail.
I describe it this way sometimes, and people really like this, is it's mutual validation. Because I think when you're trying to always fix your partner's problem, you're kind of saying like, I must have married an idiot because I got to take care of all of this for them, right? But when you're saying, like, when you're just listening to them and you're like, man, that sounds really awful. Like, but I know you're going to figure this out. You're kind of like patting them on the back, like, hey, they've got this. And you're also patting yourself on the back. Like, I picked a really smart human. And I know they've got this figured out. They may just need to be like verbally processing everything that happened. They want a partner, like someone who can witness and be there for them, right? But like, so, I always say it's like mutual validation. It's like you saying, I'm really smart. I picked a good partner that always knows what to do, right? Like, I don't have to sit here and fix it all the time. But I think what happens is you like get in this routine where like your partner's complaining about the day and then the partner's trying to fix it. And then you're thinking like, man, why can't my partner do anything for themselves? And like, now you're in this loop where you're like, I don't know, like maybe I chose badly, but it's like really stopping yourself and going, wait a second. Like, like we've got a lot going on in our household. There's like, all kinds of things, but I am so glad I picked this partner that always knows what to do. Like she does. She is so smart, or he is so good at what he does. He's going to figure it out. Right. And so then you can offer your services like, hey, do you want to brainstorm with me? Like, do you want to like hear my opinion or I mean, really, I know you got this.
I mean, I know my wife's really smart and has good taste because she married me and she picked me.
Exactly. There you go. You got it. That's it. That's right.
Just always remember that.
Right. Yeah. Right. It goes both ways.
Yes.
That's right.
Well, Monica, this has been awesome. I'm going to hit stop recording here in just a second. Unless, Dave, did you have anything else you wanted to add? Or?
No, thank you so much. This has been super helpful and very generous. Thanks for hanging on after me.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thanks for joining us today. Hey, do us a favor and take a few minutes to subscribe to our podcast and the Utah Marriage Commission YouTube channel, where you can watch this and every episode of the show. When you hit the like button and leave a comment, your feedback helps us improve the show. And don't forget to share this episode with a friend. You can also follow and connect with us on Instagram at Stronger Marriage Life and on Facebook at Stronger Marriage. Be sure to share with us what topics you want us to explore or what you loved about today's episode. If you want even more resources to improve your relationship connection, visit our website at strongermarriage.org, where you'll find free workshops, webinars, relationship surveys, and more. Each episode of Stronger Marriage Connection is hosted and sponsored by the Utah Marriage Commission at Utah State University. And finally, a big thanks to our producers Rex Polanis and Alexis Alcott and the team at Utah State University. And you, our audience. You make this show possible. The opinions, findings, conclusions, and recommendations expressed in this podcast do not necessarily reflect the views of the Utah Marriage Commission.